pray that I return alive." These were exactly the words of Samia Shahid as she left for Pakistan to visit her ailing father. Does a woman have the right to control her own life? Or is family honor and reputation more valuable than anything else in the world? Samia Shahid was born on November 15, 1987, in Bradford, West Yorkshire, United Kingdom. Bradford is the sixth largest city in England, with an ethnically diverse population. Many members of the South Asian community have made their home there. It was there that a large family of Pakistani origin, by the surname Shahid, lived. Samia's parents, her father Chaudhry Mohammed and her mother Imtiaz, moved to the United Kingdom from a small village called Pandori in Pakistan. Like many others, they sought better opportunities for themselves and their family in the UK. Samia had a sister named Muna. The girls grew up in Bradford under the influence of a blend of British and Pakistani culture. Being second-generation immigrants, they oscillated between these two cultural worlds, balancing the values and traditions of their Pakistani heritage and adapting to the realities of a Western country like the United Kingdom. The Shahid family and their relatives were quite well known in Bradford due to the number of businesses they ran. The parents themselves owned a limousine and car rental business. One uncle ran a fish and chip shop, and another uncle owned a flower shop. Imtiaz had 5 brothers, all well known locally. So Samia had many cousins, nephews, and nieces, and she adored her large family. Samia was a very friendly, cheerful, and lively girl, always smiling. Above all, she loved her father and was a daddy's girl. Chaudhry Mohammed's word was law to her. She was ready to do anything for him, whatever he asked, and her father reciprocated that love. Although Samia and Muna were given the opportunity to receive a Western education, given that they lived in the UK, the Shahid family valued Pakistani culture and remained devoted to their Muslim faith. They were Sunni Muslims. Sunni Islam is one of the 2 main branches of Islam, along with Shia Islam. The majority of Muslims identify as Sunni, so the Shahid family adhered to certain rules. Although Samia loved driving fast, she was not allowed to drive. She would rent a car and drive recklessly, pressing the gas pedal without thinking. She liked to take care of her appearance, apply makeup, and style her hair. Samia worked part-time at the Bradford post office, though her father actually financed her, sparing no expense for his beloved daughter's wishes. Samia got almost everything she wanted. Her sister Muna had somewhat different views on life. But despite their differences, the sisters' primary and undeniable value was family. In Pakistani culture, family always came first, family above all. And although Samia seemed to get everything she wanted, her family's approval was most important to her. Whatever decision she had to make, it first had to be agreed upon with her parents and elder family members. Samia loved them deeply and didn't want to upset them, so she could never be truly open with them. She had to keep many things secret to avoid her father's anger. For example, the car races. In 2012, when Samia turned 25, her parents decided it was time for her to grow up. The free life in Western society had to end sooner or later. Her mother insisted that she should go to Pakistan to get married. According to traditions, arranged marriages are still quite common. And although Sunni Islamic faith does not strictly require it, it is still encouraged. It was no surprise when Samia's parents approached her with a proposal to marry a specific man. She agreed not because she wanted to, but because she felt it was important for her family. She took her culture and heritage seriously and did not want to disappoint her parents. Samia wanted her family to be proud of her. So in February 2012, it was decided she would marry a man named Chaudhry Mohammed Shakil. Shakil was not the person Samia would have chosen as her spouse. He was from their village, Pandori, in Pakistan, and was Samia's cousin. She had known him since childhood and always regarded him as a brother, not a future husband. Moreover, he had just been released from prison for shooting another man over a land dispute. Marrying distant relatives among British Pakistanis is mainly to keep land ownership within the family, thereby expanding family estates. Her parents were also cousins who had an arranged marriage and made their marriage happy. To prepare for the wedding, Samia was taken to various Pakistani shops to buy whatever she wanted: magnificent outfits, fashionable jewelry, and matching accessories. Her father, Mohammed, paid for all of it. Samia shopped with interest and tried to get excited about planning the upcoming wedding, but deep down, she knew that money couldn't buy happiness. She wasn't truly happy with the choice of husband her parents made for her, but at that moment, she had to accept it. Samia knew her parents wanted the best husband for her, but deep inside, she felt that marriage to Shakil would make her unhappy. At the same time, she couldn't tell her family, fearing to upset them, so she made every effort to appear happy. In mid-February 2012, when Samia boarded a plane to fly to Pakistan, she wrote a message to a friend admitting she was making the biggest mistake of her life and couldn't believe it was happening. Later, her sister Muna disputed many of these claims. She said Samia had several marriage proposals to choose from and that she chose Shakil herself. Yes, it was an arranged marriage, but not forced. And there is a big difference between arranged and forced marriages. When Samia first arrived in Pakistan to meet her future husband, Shakil, she wrote to her friends that she couldn't even look at him and was happy she didn't vomit at the sight of her fiancé. Samia and Shakil had a lavish wedding. Many guests from Bradford came to Pakistan to congratulate the young couple and celebrate the joyous event. On February 27, 2012, a 4-day ceremony began with over 1,000 guests. As a wedding gift, Mohammed gave the newlyweds their own house next to the family home in Pandori. After the wedding, Samia and Shakil moved into this house and lived together as husband and wife. The young wife couldn't reconcile with the idea of changing her life and settling in this small village. Nevertheless, Samia lived in this house with her husband for 4 months before returning to Bradford in June 2012 without her husband. Shakil stayed in Pakistan, waiting for immigration documents. Samia returned to England to apply for a spousal visa for her husband so he could become a British citizen. But she was in no hurry. Samia and Shakil's wedding in Pakistan was a nikah ceremony, a formal marriage contract according to Muslim customs. According to Sharia principles, this is considered a registered marriage and implies an agreement between a man and a woman made before witnesses and a cleric. However, British law requires specific legal steps to recognize such a marriage. One of these is holding a civil ceremony in the UK and obtaining a marriage certificate legally confirming the marriage. Thus, the nikah was not considered a legal marriage in another country without official documentation. After returning to the UK, Samia's friends noticed she had changed and was acting differently. She clearly harbored resentment towards her parents. Samia became nervous and agitated when discussing her husband Shakil. She felt he was constantly watching her. Even though Samia was in another country, Shakil insisted she call him daily via Skype video chat and stay in touch most of the day. The young wife felt trapped and in August sent a voice message to a friend saying she wanted to die, hated her life, and no longer wanted to be Shakil's wife. On the other hand, her relatives claimed that Samia boasted to everyone in Bradford about her lavish wedding and said she was happy in her marriage. Otherwise, why would she voluntarily take a flight back to Pakistan to Shakil if she were unhappy? These differing accounts suggested that the marriage was not as smooth as it seemed. After living with her husband in Pakistan for 6 months, Samia returned to the UK. This time her friends saw the old Samia, cheerful, happy, smiling, and sociable. But there was a reason for this. The young woman told her friends she had met a man named Syed Mukhtar Kazim, whose friends called him Ali. Ali was also from Pakistan but had British citizenship and worked in Dubai. They initially met online and became friends. Then they met in person in London in October 2013 and immediately felt attracted to each other. Ali embodied everything Samia wanted in a man. He was loving, caring, and kind. He understood her perfectly, and his feelings were mutual. Everything in his life made sense when Samia was around. They knew they risked each other's lives by being together, but they felt their love was stronger than the hatred and threats they faced and worth fighting for. Samia told Ali about her current situation, how she married someone she considered her brother, and who controlled her. Ali couldn't understand how a loving father could turn his own daughter into an object for sale or exchange. Samia knew she wanted to be with Ali, spend her life with him, have children, and grow old together. To do this, she needed to divorce Shakil. She couldn't divorce through a British court since their marriage was not registered under British law. Samia and Shakil married under Sharia law, so they had to divorce according to Muslim customs. In May 2014, she returned to Pakistan, but not to see her husband. Samia and Ali went to her village to meet Shakil, but they did not find him at home. Samia then went to an Islamic religious court in Jhelum, a city in Punjab, Pakistan. There she filed for divorce. She stated her reasons and grievances, and the court granted her divorce request. She returned to the UK, thinking she was free. However, Samia did not inform her family about the divorce, fearing their reaction. Upon returning to Bradford, she continued her relationship with Ali. She later learned she was pregnant with his child. Despite her fears, Samia was happy. She felt she was given a second chance to start a new life. Samia knew her family would not accept this. Her parents and relatives held strict, conservative views. They would not understand or forgive her actions. So she decided to marry Ali quietly and live together in Dubai. In September 2014, they legally married in Leeds, a city in West Yorkshire, England. A month later, Samia moved to Dubai to be with her new husband. The couple had a simple and private wedding ceremony, attended only by their closest friends. Samia felt she was finally free and could live her life the way she wanted. She shared happy moments with Ali, and the couple eagerly awaited the birth of their child. However, her family was not pleased. They considered Samia's actions a disgrace and dishonor to their name. They felt she had shamed the family by divorcing Shakil and marrying someone else without their consent. Despite the physical distance, her family continued to monitor her closely. They pressured her to return to Pakistan and resolve the issues. Samia refused to comply with their demands, which increased their resentment towards her. The situation worsened when Samia's father, Chaudhry Mohammed, fell ill. Her family used this as an excuse to lure her back to Pakistan. In July 2016, Samia received a call from her sister, Muna, informing her about their father's deteriorating health. Samia felt conflicted. Despite the strained relationship with her family, she still loved her father deeply. She decided to visit him, hoping to reconcile with her family. Ali was concerned about her safety and advised against the trip. However, Samia reassured him, saying she would be fine. Before leaving for Pakistan, Samia confided in her friends, expressing her fears. She said, "Pray that I return alive." Those words would later haunt everyone who knew her. On July 14, 2016, Samia arrived in Pakistan. She stayed at her family's home in Pandori. Initially, everything seemed fine. Her family welcomed her warmly and she spent time with her father. However, the situation soon took a dark turn. On July 20, 2016, Samia's lifeless body was found in her family home. The initial report claimed she died of natural causes. However, further investigation revealed she was strangled. Her death was ruled as a murder. Samia's tragic end shocked everyone who knew her. Ali, devastated by the news, demanded justice for his wife. He believed Samia was killed because she defied her family's wishes and chose to live her own life. The case gained international attention, highlighting the issue of honor killings in Pakistan. Samia's family initially denied any involvement in her death. However, evidence pointed to her ex-husband, Shakil, and her father, Chaudhry Mohammed, as the prime suspects. The investigation revealed that her father and ex-husband conspired to kill her to restore the family's honor. Shakil was arrested and confessed to the murder. He claimed he killed Samia to protect the family's reputation. Her father was also arrested, but he denied any involvement in the crime. The case went to trial, and in November 2016, Shakil was sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of Samia Shahid. Her father was acquitted due to lack of evidence. Samia's death sparked a global conversation about the issue of honor killings and the need for legal reforms to protect women's rights in Pakistan. Her story serves as a reminder of the harsh realities many women face when they choose to defy societal norms and assert their independence. Samia Shahid's life was cut short because she dared to live on her terms. Her courage and determination to seek happiness in the face of overwhelming odds continue to inspire many. Her tragic story underscores the urgent need for change to ensure that no woman ever has to pay the ultimate price for seeking freedom and love.